As you guys know, I am a massive FIFA fan, especially career mode. That is my game mode. I love career mode. I've been uploading videos of career mode since 2012, early 2012. And that, of course, was FIFA 12. That's a long time. And I have never, ever seen career mode in such a state. It is completely broken. And it's unacceptable. So this is a message to the EA team, the career mode developers. It's not a personal attack. It is just a fan, a creator that loves the game, that is just completely frustrated and needs to have their voice heard. I want to make this perfectly clear before I get into the rest of this video that this is not a personal attack. It is not directed at anyone specifically. I want to say a special thank you to Tom Kalefi. I'm hoping I'm saying your second name right. Zaro, Corey, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate everything you guys have done. You're very open and transparent on social media, Discord as well. I really appreciate all of you guys. I really do. And this isn't directed at you at all. It's not directed at anyone personally, as I just mentioned. This is more to the guys that are making the decisions on how we fix, when we fix, what to fix, and the priority list here. It needs discussing. There's no way we can go on like this because the game mode has been struggling for so long now. And this genuinely felt like a change in the right direction this year. It really did. We had some great communication leading up to the release of FIFA 20. Some of the features that were discussed as being implemented into the game really got us excited. But unfortunately, and unsurprisingly, a lot of it just hasn't happened. That brings me on to the hashtag we thought you cared. Seems a bit personal, I know. And I know a lot of the guys at EA do genuinely care about career mode, but the game doesn't reflect it. The game does not reflect it at all. The features were working better before the game came out, in the beta, in the demo, whatever it may have been, than it is now in the full game. We thought you cared. We thought these problems that have been reoccurring for years now would have been fixed. Some of these bugs that I'm going to be talking about were in FIFA 18. The game has problems now that it's had for years, which simply isn't good enough. It just isn't good enough. I don't care that you guys are busy working on Ultimate Team. I don't care that the game has only just come out and patches happen on every game. It shouldn't be the case. This is a final product. You've released the game. There shouldn't be this many problems with the game. A couple of little glitches here and there, I completely understand. But some of the bugs and the problems that I'm going to be talking about are game-breaking issues that should have been tested and definitely should not be in the final product once it launches. And I think that's the wrong term to use these days, not just with FIFA, but in the gaming industry. There is no final product these days because games get released on a day that's been set from a year ago. They say this will be the day it comes out, no matter what. And if the game isn't finished, if it isn't polished, they'll just go ahead and patch it later on down the line. And that is a horrible, horrible thing. I can't think of many other things in life that you can buy that are just half finished. You still pay full price, and then maybe they'll fix it later on down the line. I don't know why this has been okay in the community. It isn't okay. FIFA might just be up there as one of the worst examples to date. This FIFA is an abomination when it comes to career mode. Another thing I want to talk about before we move on is the Game Changer Network. I want to clarify what that means to everyone watching this video that maybe doesn't understand what it means. So a lot of your favorite creators are part of the EA Game Changer Network. They have this for multiple different games. It's not just FIFA. What that means is we sometimes have access to early builds of the game. We can go to events, we can do feedback sessions, we can fill in questionnaires and generally just help guide EA a little bit with changes to the game. But I've got to say, as someone who's in it, I'm feeling a little bit let down right now, and this is a message to the guys that run the Game Changer Network. It's fantastic that you guys have this. It's a really, really good opportunity for a lot of us to be part of it. But I've got to say, especially on the career mode side of things, it genuinely feels like we have had no part in this whatsoever. Even though we have been able to give you guys feedback, we've been able to talk directly to Zaro, Corey, and actually get feedback sent to the correct departments of EA. But it feels like that feedback has gone nowhere. All of the things we've said, where's the evidence of that feedback being taken into account? The game doesn't show it. So I've got to say that there has to be improvements here. There has to be a dedicated guy on that Discord in the Game Changer Network that us career mode YouTubers can go and talk to directly, that works on career mode. It's all well and good messaging Corey, Zaro, but let's be fair, they're busy with Ultimate Team related stuff. They can only pass on the message to the career mode team. We have no direct path. And that's frustrating. It's alienating a little bit because I feel pressured. I feel like I'm just an annoyance, constantly going to the same person or the same 3 people that I know do not work on the career mode team, and I'm badgering them constantly, prodding them for information that I know they can't really get me. They can't give it to me themselves. They would have to then go to someone who works on the career mode team, get the information from them, and then feed it back to me. But that just simply doesn't happen. It hasn't happened, and I fear it never will happen. So this is the part of the video which I guess a lot of people might cringe at, but I am happy to offer my services. I will happily join the EA team as I don't even know what you want to call it, a career mode community manager maybe. Now, I'm obviously not the best candidate in the world for this. I've not done it before. So hire someone else. But I'm putting my name out there, and I'm sure many other YouTubers that do career mode content would put their name out there as well. The game just isn't going to improve the way we're going now. It just doesn't seem to be working, even though it had potential to work. Everything felt so much better going into the run-up to FIFA 20 with the community managers talking to us, with the feedback we're able to give, but that is just out of the window now. I don't see the evidence of it working. So, again, I'm reiterating what I just said. I, Matt, MGH, I will offer my services. I'm just outside of Guildford. It will take me 45 minutes to drive to Guildford, and I will happily be part of this career mode team. I will be the messenger that gets destroyed on Twitter daily. If there are any issues, I'm the one that gets told about it constantly, and I'm the one that will pass the message along. I will be that middleman, just so Corey, the other guys, Zaro, don't get overwhelmed, because it's clear that Ultimate Team is the most important game mode. It's the money maker. It has priority over everything. There's too much clearly going on because career mode just isn't being fixed. I've had the game in my hands now for 9 days. We've only had the rosters updated today. But some of these bugs in the game are making the game unplayable, and something needs to change. Let's talk about the bugs, shall we? I'm going to quickly blast through these because EA know about these issues. As a game changer, I'm in their Discord and I'm posting every single bug that I come across, that you guys come across when you're playing the game. Tweet me anything with images and videos if possible, and I will forward it to the team. So they know about this, and I'm kind of using this as just, this is to shame career mode at the moment, the state it is in. I will go through it as quick as I can. There's a lot, okay? So teams not playing their first team, big clubs fighting in relegation battles, promoted teams are in the top 4. Norwich has won the Premier League for me. Really interesting, that one. Players like Aguero only making 5 appearances out of the 38 games. I mean, that's rather incredible considering how good Aguero really is. The edit player function is completely broken. If you go ahead and edit a player in career mode or outside of career mode, even if you edit the player in the main menu, you can sometimes see your player change position and their overall stats completely change as well. So, for example, I took Granit Xhaka in my Arsenal career mode, went into edit, changed his boots, and he all of a sudden was a centre attacking midfielder and he had lost about 6 overall. Now, the reason for this, and I'm giving you this for free, EA, the reason this seems to be happening is because there are positions missing in the edit player function and have been missing for years. When you've gone to edit players in the edit player function, there is no centre midfielder position, there is no left winger, right winger. When these positions are missing, if you edit a player of that position, the game doesn't know what to do with it because that position doesn't exist. So Granit Xhaka became a cam because centre mid doesn't exist. So that seems to be the issue. Next, press conferences and post-match interviews. These are new features, shiny new features that seem to be working pretty well in the beta, if I remember correctly. But now they're completely broken. For example, they claim that you're unbeaten when you're not. A reporter will ask me, oh, how does it feel to continue your unbeaten run? I've got 2 losses, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. They mention topics that have no relevance whatsoever. There's typos everywhere. I saw frustrations, how ironic is that, was spelt wrong. Typos, I get it, it happens, but it's pretty inexcusable. Really, I mean, someone's just typed that in to the coding or whatever and just hit enter. Yeah, that's done. No one's checked the spelling, really. And, this is one of my favourites. One of my personal favourites. I finished a game and it ended 3-3, 3 goals each, a draw. And they said it was a boring game. They asked me to talk about why it was such a boring affair. It was 3-3. I don't think that strikes me as a boring game. Moving on now to player conversations, another new feature which I thought was going to be really, really good and really interesting. Yeah, it can be very confusing and it seems a little bit broken at the moment. So, for example, players asking for a rest, and then when you rest them, they complain that they didn't get to play. Players asking to be played, and then you'll play them, and then they'll say, why didn't you play me? Doesn't make any sense. The Europa League and Champions League competitions do not work after a couple of seasons. It hasn't happened to me yet. I'm yet to get into Season 4 or Season 5 in any of my saves, but I have seen images. I've seen other creators in the Game Changer Network talk about this. For example, after a few seasons, the Champions League just doesn't start. The Europa League just shows results to be determined. Nothing happens, and it remains broken for the rest of that career mode. So that's game breaking. How can you not have the Champions League? That makes no sense to me. Managers getting fired. Now, this is an interesting one. So what happened to a viewer of mine, and he tweeted me a video of it. He offered one of his players that was on, I think, 75,000 per week. He offered him 80,000, which got accepted, and he got fired for it. For overpaying £5,000. The player wanted a new contract. Yeah. Also, I've had this issue. I have been fired as Man City manager, even though I've completed my objectives, including winning the Premier League, yet I've been sacked. My objectives were to win the Premier League, and I've completed pretty much all of the objectives set out, and I get fired. So it's just happening too easily, and that seems a little bit unfair, if you ask me. Another big one. This is something that we've managed to fix somehow, but ultimate difficulty just simply isn't hard. It's it's like playing on medium difficulty, and it's hilarious because, of course, that's the whole point of playing on ultimate difficulty, that you have a challenge, and it's not challenging at all. And this doesn't go well with the other glitch that teams are not playing their first team, because not only are you coming up against Man City's 6th string of players, they're also not playing on ultimate difficulty when you've selected it. It's way too easy. And the workaround for this at the moment is to plug in a second controller, go into team management for the opposition's team, reset all of the player instructions on every single game plan, and then the difficulty improves. And it's still sometimes a little bit too easy. So I'm not really sure why that's happening, but there's another freebie for you guys at EA, a little bit of a head start there. I'd start looking at player instructions. I think that might be where the issue lies. AI defenders as well. It's not just on ultimate difficulty, but on all difficulties. The AI defense just seem to hold off. They don't pressure you on the ball enough. And I'm wondering if that has something to do with the new AI defending when it comes to online game modes like Ultimate Team. This year, it feels like your own defenders don't help you so much. The AI isn't holding your hand so much. Is that why this is happening? When I'm coming up against a team in the Premier League, they're just standing off me all the time. Is that why that's happening? Would be great to get some clarification on that. And we haven't been able to fix that issue, even with sliders, unfortunately. Now, the Youth Academy, this has been a problem for years. These are problems that were supposedly fixed, I think, last year, but weren't. And now, this year, still not fixed. Stats that do not relate to the position. So you might scout a striker and he'll have terrible finishing, which doesn't make sense. His passing will be better than his finishing. Makes no sense whatsoever. And also the ethnicity, that is constantly broken. If you scout in Ecuador, the ethnicity will be completely wrong, and that it's not obviously a completely awful game-breaking glitch, but it's not realistic. It ruins the immersion. The little immersion we have in this game is further getting ruined by these little bugs, and that should be fixed. It should have been fixed last year, ideally. Selling young players, still virtually impossible. I tried to sell a few youngsters in my Arsenal career mode, and every single transfer talk broke down. This was an issue that was meant to be fixed last year, was meant to be fixed this year, still isn't fixed. And this is something that game changers have been talking about for the last 18 to 24 months. This is why I'm so frustrated. Even though I feel grateful to be in this program, what am I there for? If my feedback's not going anywhere, what's the point? Maybe it is in the game and they have fixed it, but it's just not working. I don't know. It's down to you guys. This shouldn't be happening. It just shouldn't be. Simulated matches are broken. It just skips right to the result. Simulation has been terrible for God knows how long now. Do you remember in the good old days of FIFA when you could pause the simulation, make substitutions, or even jump into the game and finish the game yourself? Well, nowadays, all you can do is watch what happens. Well, nowadays, you can't even do that. It literally skips the entire game and gives you the result. They said they would fix this because we brought it up in the beta. Still hasn't been fixed. Fixture congestion, this is something that we go on about every year. Sometimes we're still getting 2 games in 3 days, 3 games in 4 days. There is no time for your players to rest. We still can't manually move the fixtures or ask for a postponement. We've come up with so many different ways to fix some of these issues. I've provided countless lists in the past. Loads of other YouTubers have chipped in with their own ideas that would 100% work. All they have to do is put them in the game, providing that they do actually work, but they don't. Premier League seasons that have more than 38 games played. I saw an image this morning of a Premier League table that has 75 games played for each team. I mean, that baffles me. Apparently that happens when you take a new job through the season. So during the middle of the season, you take a new job. If you then look back at the Premier League at the end of the season, they've played 75 games. So whether or not they're actually playing that many games, I don't know, but it's still stupid, makes no sense. The max height for a creative player this year is 6'2". Not really game breaking, of course. I don't know why you would want to make your player 6'7", which has been the max for years, because that will make him so slow and clunky. But you're telling me that players aren't taller than 6'2"? Clearly, this is it's a glitch. They need to up that to 6'7" again. This glitch, oh man, in player career mode right now, your skill move rating, you can upgrade it. In this year's game, it bugs out and gives you 0-star skills, so you can't do any skills. Back in career mode with the training feature, which hasn't been changed much at all since it was put into the game, there are actually player lists missing. So you go through the tabs, you have attackers, midfielders, wingers, whatever it may be. Sometimes you don't have any midfielders, you don't have any wingers. They're just completely missing from training. And this is the last one I've got here. There's so many more that I haven't even put on this list. You don't even get an email when you sell a player. So I sold a player. I got the email saying that it's been confirmed and that this is how much it's going to be. He will leave in the window, because I was selling this player outside of the window. And then it came to January 1st and there was no confirmation that the email or that the transfer had gone through. There was no email saying he's left. I just had to go ahead and assume he was gone, checked my team, and yeah, he was gone. So no email for that. It just seems a little bit silly that that's missing, and just something that I've picked up myself. There are countless more bugs. EA watching this, please do check the Discord. It'd be great if you could compile the whole list and not just pick some of them out that are worse than others. We want all of these bugs fixed. Simple as that, really. I do want to finish this video with the following positive message, and that is the gameplay is very, very good. From what I can tell, the gameplay, the core basics of the game this year feel amazing. I'm really enjoying the gameplay. When I've gone in and reset all the instructions on the opposition team and I'm playing on ultimate difficulty for real, when it feels like ultimate difficulty, I'm having a great time. It really feels great, and that deserves credit because the amount of tuning and balancing that requires, it's no easy feat, and I'm just praying that they don't patch it like they have in the past. FIFA, for me, although there is always bugs and glitches at the start, the gameplay is always best at the very start of FIFA, when the cycle begins, and then they seem to release a patch which changes things and it doesn't feel so good. I just want EA to know that although this is a negative video and I'm sure you guys don't want to be watching something like this, but I've got to tell you the good things. And the gameplay is solid. So just don't change it too much. It really does work well offline. If you're going to change it dramatically because of competition, esports, foot, whatever, then maybe change that and not the offline gameplay, because we're enjoying it. It's really good fun, and that somewhat helps, because all of these bugs otherwise would completely ruin this game to the point where I would just not be playing it. But the fact is, some of the bugs that I'm encountering, I can avoid them and still enjoy playing the game. And again, I just want to reiterate a few points in this video, specifically to you guys watching this at EA. I know some of you will be watching this because I'm going to put it in the Discord. I love you, Corey. I love you, Zaro. I love you all, okay? I think you guys are doing a great job with what you guys do. It's really, really difficult. It's a tough position to be in, having so many creators like us, and the public, the general public, can be, oh, they can crucify you. I get it. And that's another reason why I've offered some help. And I know you're not going to take me up on that offer. I know that EA wouldn't do something like that. I completely get it. My offer is still there, by the way. But we do appreciate you. And this is in no way directed at you guys. But I want you to send this video to the right people. The people that make decisions. The decisions that have been made over the last few years with career mode have really hurt the game. And they've hurt the community. And I'm asking just for two things. Two things. After you've watched this video, all I'm looking for is two things. I would like the game to be fixed, and I want confirmation of a patch coming soon and all the contents of that patch. I would like to know what's being fixed and when it's being fixed. It's all well and good you saying, yeah, the team are aware. We need more information. We need to know, is this weeks? Because it affects what we do. The second thing is just an apology. Because although that sounds big-headed, and humour me for a second, but for many, many years of neglect of career mode, the one time we get hyped, we get really excited because you yourselves are hyping up the game, saying that you're caring more, you're interested in improving the whole general feel of career mode as a game mode, that it's going to be better this year. You say it yourself. And then when it releases in this state, there is no apology. There is no, we're sorry that you trusted us with this and that you've spent your hard-earned money on this game that just doesn't work. So issue an apology. I want to see the official EA account say on Twitter tonight to the career mode fans, we're sorry. We're sorry that it's released like this. It's not good enough, and we're going to try our best to never let this happen again. Now, that doesn't mean what's happened is okay. It doesn't fix it, because arguably we would rather it was fixed than get an apology and it not get fixed. Okay, you know what I'm trying to say here. We would just like to know that this isn't acceptable, that we're not just going crazy here. This isn't acceptable. We're almost in 2020. This is... How many FIFA games have there been now? I lose track. I've been playing since 97. So for a game to release in this day and age, this broken, with all of the feedback, with all of the fine detail feedback that we've given you guys, I don't understand how this can be acceptable. It just isn't. So this video has gone on long enough. I think you get the idea here. As a message to the career mode developers, I've never even spoken to them. I can't get through to them. Whether it's just two of you guys, whether it's 5 of you, whether it's a whole team, I have no idea. We appreciate you, and we really do love what you've built. Some of the things that you've got in career mode are incredible, and they don't go unnoticed. We play the game because we love it, and we want it to improve year after year. And to do that, we have to trust you with our feedback and see it. We need evidence when the games come out that the feedback we've given and the hard-earned money that we've given you is for a reason. That the game is better every year. And we simply have not been able to see this and feel this for years now. This is quite honestly the worst career mode experience we have ever had, when it should be the best. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope I didn't come across as nasty. I'm trying to be as polite and professional as possible. And I hope that in some way I'm able to help this situation. Just please, if there is a patch, get it out as soon as possible. We would thank you forever. Best of luck for the rest of FIFA, and yeah, hopefully everything will go swimmingly from now.